Kia ora, this is Arun Jacob, your friendly and frank licensed New Zealand immigration advisor, as well as education advisor, coming live from the city of Hamilton in New Zealand. I normally come live on Facebook and YouTube on the Tuesday of every week, but this week I had to make a small change because my wonderful colleague, Mary Joseph, who is also a fellow licensed immigration advisor. She comes live on Thursday, which is today, but she is right now on a flight going to India. And so she said, "Hey, look, Arun, can I swap my days with you?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So here I am, being a good friend, good colleague, and stepping in for Mary. She came live on Tuesday. So we kind of just swap this around for a little bit. But yeah, we hopefully will get back to our regular routines again. We're going to try and see how it works if I switch a day with Mary and see how it goes. So, some rules of the game. This broadcast is primarily for students of AJV or those students or migrants who would like to come to New Zealand through the services of our wonderful company called AJV Services, which is based and operating out of New Zealand from Hamilton. It is owned and operated by a New Zealander. Yes, I look Indian, but I'm technically and legally a New Zealander because I proudly carry my New Zealand passport with me. And yeah, sure. So this is a company that was established to help and assist people from different parts of the world to come to New Zealand either on a temporary or on a permanent basis. Why? Because New Zealand needs to attract a lot of people from different parts of the world for various reasons. We want people to, somebody to come from to New Zealand just as tourists, come and see our beautiful country, or there some we want you to come to New Zealand to come and study in this beautiful country. We have world-class institutions and education that's recognized globally everywhere. We would like you to come and set up businesses in New Zealand and create employment for our local people here. We would like you to come and invest into New Zealand and park your hard-earned money and your millions into our country. And we would, of course, like you to come into New Zealand as workers and and skilled migrants because as an economy, as a country, we are growing, but unfortunately, we don't have enough number of people who are coming out of our local institutions to cater to the demand. And that's the reason, like a lot of other countries around the world, we are also in the race to attract the best talent that we can from across the world to come into New Zealand, and that's exactly what AJV Services does, which is a New Zealand company, and we are all about New Zealand, and we are trying to attract the best talent from around the world to come and do all these various things that are possible in New Zealand, and to ensure that people like all of you who are keen to come and do something in New Zealand are getting the right advice. The government of New Zealand introduced something called the Immigration Advisors Licensing Act 2007, and which means not everybody can advise everybody about migrating to New Zealand or about different visas to New Zealand. And that's the reason they did something called the Immigration Advisors Licensing Act. And I am proudly a licensed New Zealand immigration advisor. That is the license I got from the government of New Zealand. And for me to get that license, I had to do that particular course there, which is a course in New Zealand immigration advice. And I also had to kind of get vetted by the police department in New Zealand and ensure that I'm of good character so that I can talk to all you wonderful people and tell you how to come to New Zealand. Cool. How does this thing go? So I'm going live on our Facebook group called NZ Options. So if you guys are on Facebook and if you type NZ Options, you will get a nice background picture which says migrate to New Zealand, da da da. That's us. We're also going live on our Facebook page, which is called facebook.com/AJV Global. We are also going live on the AJV Global YouTube channel. And I'm also going live on my personal YouTube channel, which is called Arun Jacob, yours truly. So you can join in from anywhere on any of these four platforms. I'm also, as always, very ably supported by my wonderful and awesome team who, right now, as we speak, are in New Zealand, in India, and we have at least one of our team members working out of the US right now. So we are like this very cool dudes of this industry who are sitting in different parts of the world, and and working with all of you with the bottom line of ensuring that there is a good match between good talent and New Zealand. So that's what it's all about. Rules of the game: when you ask me a question, if you are an AJV student, please identify yourself so that I can give a nice, good, robust answer. If you're not an AJV student, we request you to please share your contact number, because obviously we want to make you into an AJV student, and we can't do much if you only come and take information and go away, and are not able to engage with us later. So please leave your number and I will get started from there. I'm probably going to be coughing a little bit today because I have a bit of a cold. So please forgive me if I end up in a bout of cough, because all this talking does take its toll on the poor throat. So I sit here with my oversized coffee mug and I'll keep sipping from it to ensure my throat is lubricated and I can get on with the session. Cool. First question. Rahul Raghavan says, "Hi sir, I'm a client of AJV. Please tell me, what can I choose between Masters in Construction Project Management and a graduate diploma in Construction Project Management?" Okay. Hey Rahul, first and foremost, thank you so much for being an AJV client. We really appreciate it. You're all young people with many choices in front of you. And if you're choosing AJV, it shows two, three things: that you've done your research and you're smart enough to understand that it is better for you to work with a company that's present in New Zealand, which will continue to work with you and guide you and counsel you and give you tons of free information and networking opportunities to succeed in New Zealand. So fantastic. Well done, Rahul. And I hope everybody else listening in would take your lead and also, come and work with AJV. So, okay. So your question is, what is it that you need to choose between Masters in Construction Project Management and a graduate diploma in Construction Project Management? So the main difference, Rahul, is Masters obviously would be at a higher level. There's a lot of self-study involved. There's a lot of work involved with that. So if you're an academically inclined person who has the ability to crack a very high level, because Rahul, I'm guessing from your name that you're from India, and also from your number, because you have +91 as your prefix to your phone number. So yeah, you know what? Unlike the concept of a master's in India, and I'm not denigrating the education system in India. I'm just saying that a master's in the Western world, in New Zealand, or some of the other Western universities, is at a much higher level, and the amount of application required is quite a lot. So if you are an academically inclined person who's had fantastic scores in your bachelor's and you have that academic leaning towards going for a master's, I think you should take it up. But please be aware right now today in this session, because you asked me a very good question. And the point is that, masters will take a lot out of you. If you're ready for that kind of a challenge, I think you should take it up, because in the past, we've had some of our students who managed to get an admission into masters, but then unfortunately, they could not cope with the pressure of doing a masters. And after coming here, they stepped down and went into a postgraduate diploma or into a graduate diploma. So the other option you could consider, Rahul, is also to see if your postgraduate diploma will suit you than a master's. Number two, graduate diploma or master's will also depend on how much of IELTS score you have got, because for a master's or a postgraduate diploma, you will need to have, which is 6.5 with no score less than 6. If I'm not mistaken, I will quickly check that. Yes, you need a 6.5 with no score less than 6 in any of the bands for you to be able to get into a PG diploma or into a master's. Or if you are looking at a graduate diploma, then of course, it can be lower. You only need a 6 with no band score lower than 5.5. So that will also depend on, your IELTS score would also kind of, give a very clear indicator whether you want to take up a GD or you want a graduate diploma, or you want to take up a postgraduate diploma or a master's. The main difference, I think, Rahul, from the perspective of which one to go for, is that with a master's or a PG diploma, with the current set of rules, immigration laws, that is that you will get 3 years of post-study work visa, whereas for a graduate diploma, if you're doing it outside Auckland, you would only get 2 years of post-study work visa. But hey, look, 2 years is as good as any other period of time for you to be able to get into the industry and find yourself a relevant job. And construction is doing quite well in New Zealand right now. In fact, to the extent that recently the government even introduced something called the construction and infrastructure skill shortage list. So I think, yeah, it looks good and you're doing all the right things. You're coming for a good course, you're coming for to a good country where there is a need for construction professionals. And you're coming through AJB, a company based in New Zealand, and which is absolutely committed to helping all our students and clients. So I think overall, that's the way you need to decide whether you're going to do a master's or a graduate diploma. All right, Rahul, continue to speak to whoever is your advisor. My team tells me that you're actually talking to my colleague called Jagrati, fantastic advisor. Continue to speak to her. Share a brief about this clip. I think Jagrati would be watching this as well herself. But yeah, have a chat with her, and we are all about discussing with you guys and girls. And we are not people who will say, "Oh, you have this, so you have to do only this course." We're not like that. We like to involve you because, after all, it's your future and it's your career. It's not my future and my career. It's your future and your career, and it's only our knowledge and our expertise and our honesty and our sincerity to make sure that you are getting into the right course, the right institution, at the right cost, in the right city, and with the right consultant. So that's the way this match is going to be made. All right, guys. Cool. My team tells me I missed a question from Damsara Ratnaike, who I'm guessing would be from Sri Lanka. Fantastic name, Damsara. Is there any chance AJB will get partner with the Auckland University or Massey in 1 year's time? And I'm already in touch with AJB as well. Absolutely, Damsara. I think we will. We are in the process of talking to them. At the moment, we were not pushing it too aggressively because we already represent about 35 to 40 fantastic institutions across New Zealand. And when we did approach these two, they said, at the moment they're kind of not looking at getting on some new people. But I know that things will change. And I think in a year's time, most definitely, because in a year's time, we also hope to emerge as the largest student recruiter, international student recruiter for New Zealand institutions. And I guess, we will be representing all the institutions. All right, Damsara. So please do continue to stay in touch and we will ensure that you will be able to get into the institution that you want to. All right, cool. Next question. Sir, IELTS required for masters. Vasif has from Vasif. Vasif has not shared his number, so nor has he identified whether he is, an AJB client. But the simple answer is yes, you will require an IELTS for your masters. You'll require a 6.5 academic with no band score lower than 6. All right, cool. Dinesh Chatri, could you let me know how to get work visa? Dinesh Chatri, I'm thinking, oh, it's got an Indian number. I thought Dinesh Chatri sounds very Nepali because we do have a lot of fantastic clients from Nepal as well. I think, in fact, one of my last couple of sessions, I actually wore a nice black t-shirt which had Mount Everest and stuff like that. So, hey, Dinesh, how do you get a work visa? For you to get a work visa in New Zealand, somebody's got to make you a genuine job offer. That is one way of getting a work visa. But it's not easy to get a job in New Zealand when you're not present in the country because, by and large, they will not be bothered about trying to, most employers wouldn't care about trying to employ somebody who's not present in the country. And we already have a fantastic supply of local talent here in New Zealand already. Our own Kiwi students and Kiwi workers who have come up through our education system and, are in the, job workforce, we already have that supply of fantastic professionals. Plus, of course, all these beautiful cohort of talented international students who are coming into New Zealand and completing courses, and then they get a post-study work visa, which is a legal, work visa. So there's that supply of people as well. So, which is why if you're outside New Zealand, it's almost impossible to get a work visa because which employer would want to pick you out from from a huge supply of talent that's already available here in New Zealand, unless and until your name is Mark Zuckerberg or Bill Gates, kind of a thing. I mean, not to, trivialize your question, but that's I'm thinking you would be a young guy who would be, below 30 and not having a lot of experience. And so one of the options you must consider to get a work visa is to come and study in New Zealand, because recently they've made it very attractive as a policy where after you come and study in New Zealand, you can either get a 1 or a 2 or a 3 years post-study work visa. Till about 6 or 7 months back, it used to be only 1 year, whether you did any level of course, but now they have kind of changed it around, which I think is absolutely brilliant, because that's the way it's got to be done. There's got to be the weighted average method of doing things. So yeah, so what you could consider, Dinesh, is to come and do a course in New Zealand, and after that you'll automatically get a 1, 2, or 3 years post-study work visa, and in that period you can find yourself a relevant job, and if that job is at the right level and at the right salary, you could potentially go on and apply for residency here. Hey guys, there are some I can't, for lack of a better word, there are some very ignorant people who try to call me live in the middle of my live session. I mean, you guys need to have some sense not to ping somebody who is going live. So I would really appreciate it. And I think this guy's name is Rosario or Michael, somebody. He actually called me at 5 o'clock in the morning because I sleep with the phone right next to my head, and then it kept ringing. I got up to see who it is, and this guy is calling me at 5 o'clock in the morning when I'm trying to get some sleep. So you guys need to be mindful of the fact that having all this good open communications doesn't mean that you disrespect somebody else's privacy or their time cycles. So right now I'm in a live session and this guy calls me again. So it's very, very how do I say, unprofessional and not done. So you guys need to kind of up your game a little bit and become a bit more polished if you're planning to come to New Zealand. So Rosario, Nishanti, if you're listening to this, can you just reply back to that Rosario and ask him what exactly he wants, because he's been trying to call me constantly. So yeah. Cool. Prayag Event Guru says, hey, I have applied for PGD in Management Level 8 program in Fitaria, Auckland campus. I want to get some information related to study as well as part-time. Prayag, you have not mentioned whether you are one of our students. So if you tell me if you have applied to your course at Fitaria, good institution. I was there about a month back at Fitaria. They invited me and my colleague Mary to be part of an event that they were conducting there. Also, we went to also oversee the presentation of one of our students who was doing exactly the same course that you're coming for, Prab, because we actually gave her an internship opportunity inside AJB and she presented it. So we went there and sat down proudly. I had a very dad-like moment when I sat there and saw one of my students presenting a dissertation and an internship that she did with us. So Prayag, please identify if you are working with AJB, and I will be more than happy to come back and answer your question. Guys, my team, if you could also mention if Prayag is one of our students, I'll go back and answer his question again. Syed Fuzail, hi Arun, I thank you and your team very much for the continuous support, mostly Mariam Hussain and Sonia for helping me all the time. Although waiting for approximately 80 days was not pleasant, but your support made it easy. Finally, I'm flying to New Zealand on 27th. See you there. Syed, thank you so much for the wonderful comment. And I understand the fact that there was a delay in your visa processing, but I have explained it in some of my previous live sessions. It was unfortunately not something we could deal with. It was a problem that was created, I think, within the Immigration Department of New Zealand, because they were, kind of changing some offices around and changing some staff around and some of their processes around. So because of that, unfortunately, there was a delay. But thank you so much for being patient. Thank you for your kind words about Mariam and Sonia, my colleagues, who are wonderful colleagues and, very, very good advisors for New Zealand as well. I know 80 days is not a pleasant feeling. I have applied for visas in my life as well. In fact, last week I was applying for a visa, and the wait can be play on your mind. But hey, look, all's well that ends well, and I hope to see you here, Syed, in New Zealand. We like to meet as each and every one of our students as much as possible. So it's going to be awesome to meet you here in New Zealand, Syed, and I look forward to shaking hands in person and catching up with you. All right, cool. All right, cool. I just got confirmation from my team that Prayag, the event guru, you are not one of our AJB students. And my question to that, Prayag, is why are you not an AJB student, Prayag? You're the event guru, you're supposed to be this guru with all knowledge around you. And, if you have to do your research, Prayag, see, you're talking to a guy right now sitting in New Zealand. I don't know who you're working with, who's done your admission and going to do your visa process, but those people are not going to be there for you after you land here, Prayag. We guys are going to be here for you after you land in New Zealand. All my students have access to that. They can call us practically 24/7. There's myself and Mary, who is another licensed advisor, Gisela, who is another licensed advisor, Virginia, who is an ex-immigration officer and now works with us as a customer support officer. We have Nicholas, who works part-time with us, who's also one of our students and doing his course. And so, Prayag, you've got to come and work with the coolest company in New Zealand, because jokes apart, it's going to be really, really beneficial for you. And I mean, you're choosing a good course, and Fiteria is a good is a college as well. But in management especially, it's a bit more difficult because it's not like IT or construction, which are more technical orientated subjects. So for management, the networking becomes very important. To have local references becomes very important. For instance, I become a local reference to each and every student of mine who comes to New Zealand, and when employers call us and say, "Hey, look, we got your name as a reference from the XYZ," so I get on the phone and say, "Yep, that's a student of mine. He worked with me since the last so many months. We know he's meticulous. We know he's good. We know he's very good with his documentation. We know he's honest because he's got a police clearance certificate. We know he's got good health because he's got a medical clearance from immigration." And so we actually build up the case for an employer to begin to trust an entirely new person. So, Prayag, the event guru, you have options in front of you. Maybe you need to relook at who you're coming to New Zealand through. And that's what the session is all about, guys, to tell you, and girls, is to let you know that we all have options in life, and you've got to choose the right one, because going overseas is a massive challenge. I've done it a few times in my life, and it is so important to have good guidance, especially in a scenario where the laws keep changing all the time, and you will require legal guidance, you'll require immigration advice and stuff like that. And imagine having somebody like that 24/7 to be able to contact and call and say, "Hey, Arun, I got a job, I got this, I got that, this is the salary, what do you think I should do next?" And I'll actually devise a perfectly clear legal solution for you guys. But if you're not an AJB student, we don't even bother picking up that call, because you're not my client. Okay, so any of you people who are listening to um, this particular broadcast, it'll be awesome if you guys can kind of make up your mind to come and work with somebody who will support you. Like, for instance, hey, this guy, hey, Michael Rosario, I don't know what's wrong with you. I think I just told you not to call me because I'm in a live session. Nishanti, if you could just get quickly with on the message with that guy and tell him not to be a pain, it will be very nice. Thank you. Brown Boy Tech says, "Hi, Arun. Hope you're keeping well, bud." Yeah, all good, Brown Boy Tech, my good friend from Wellington, Kawal. Kawal is one of our students who came from the Middle East and now doing really well in Wellington. He came into the course in IT and is now he is one of our cool students. I seem to have lost Facebook, but I think it will get connected in just a moment. So I'm gonna pause for a second till it connects. Right, guys, whoever is on YouTube, if you just wait for a second, I think I'll be able to reconnect. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I know, team. I've just also got it on my live session, which is trying to reconnect due to poor wireless connection. I think it will come back in a moment, but it looks like I'm still going live on the group, and I think I'm still live on both the YouTube channels. I don't see any interruption there. So it is only on the AJV Global. Yeah, I can see that, Binal, that I am still active on the group, and it's only on the page that I have that trying to reconnect, and it's going round and round. And yeah, if it continues for some more time, I might actually get hypnotized by that little thing that goes round and round when it says trying to reconnect. So I'm just waiting for a moment, guys, for the connection to come back on this particular page, AJB Global, because I seem to be doing all right at the other places. So, Tim, if you want me to, I could continue to go live on the group. If you could all tell me, is it all right for me to continue to go live on the group and the page? I'll be happy to continue at both these places. All right. So you guys will need to tell me quickly. Okay. So you want me to restart on? Okay, my team tells me to restart on the group, but I might lose some of those questions. So, guys, why don't you start making sure that we don't lose any of those questions? Okay, it says, all right, that kind of went bust. So I'll have to anyway go back and restart it again. Sorry, guys, technical difficulties as always. And I'm not trying to go live again. You can all listen to my tuneless humming in the meantime. No, it doesn't say. It's gonna. Okay, it says I'm ending the live video and I am gonna come back again. Okay, give me a second. Who's the right? I'm not. No, it doesn't say I'm live on. I'm definitely live on the group. I don't think I'm live on the page. Okay, I'm not able to. Am I live on the page as well, guys? I don't think I'm live on the page. I think I'm live only on the group. Nah, I'm not able to connect. Okay. So, okay, you know what? I'm just going to connect. I'm going to continue talking on the group as well as on my YouTube. And I still have the questions here. So I have Brown Boy Tech, who is Kamal, one of my students. And he says, considering all requirements are being met, including education, age, job, remuneration, etc., water, current, residency, processing time, start to end. Thanks. Hey, Kamal, good question. The unfortunate thing is that we are not able to kind of get a clear indication. They are sometimes we are getting approvals within 3 to 4 months time, and sometimes we get the approvals is taking longer, and it is going on till about more than a year sometimes. So unfortunately, there is no set time. But considering you are in Wellington and also that you are in the IT industry and all those kinds of things, I think your process should happen a little faster. All right, cool. Guys, just give me a moment. I'm gonna see if I can get back onto Facebook because my team is kind of saying, "Get back onto the page. Get back onto the page." They're going. So you guys can listen to all my nonsense chatter in the meantime which I'm very good at, by the way. Yep. Right. Let's see if that goes live again. Yay! I should be up now, guys. Please confirm I'm up there. Am I up? Yeah, I can see my familiar face on all the other places. And all right, I'm going to continue from where we let off now. All right, cool. Okay. So you guys can now kind of keep posting those questions back. The last one I answered was from Kamal, who goes by the name of Brown Boy Tech. So if you could kind of come back and start posting the next questions after that, I will be able to start answering all those questions. Sorry about all the nonsense chatter I was indulging in and the very tuneless songs I was humming while we were trying to get the Facebook page back up and running. But hey, look, it's all part of the game. Right. Shazal Tarar says, please share your contact number to have your query. Sorry. Shazal was actually posted by my team. Okay. Hey, look, guys, in case you want to get in touch with our team, that's what you've got to do. Okay. You've got to, let me see if, yeah. Okay, cool. So what you got to do is we have set up a toll-free number in India. which is 1-800-103-6525. And that's because we get a lot of our clients out of India. So, obviously we want to make it easier for them. But we do work with a lot of clients from different parts of the world. So it's not just only Indian clients we work with. We are very blessed to have clients from practically everywhere across the world. So for those of you guys who are not based in India, you could send us a email there to info@ajvglobal.com. And if you're already in New Zealand and you want to get in touch with us for further visas and stuff. So you can email us there or you can call Mary on that number. But Mary at the moment is flying across the ocean going to India. So allow her a couple of days and then she should be able to come back and answer you guys. All right. Cool. Okay. Team, you'll have to start pasting those questions back here again. So in the meantime, right. Right. Okay. This is a question from Ananda Krishnan saying, Sir, how was the future of graduates of civil engineer in New Zealand? What about PG diploma in project management and construction project management? Okay, and Ananda Krishnan it says you're only collecting information from us and not wanting to change your current agent, which I think is a very disappointing thing to do, Ananda, because number one, if you are coming to us for information, so obviously it means you are liking the information we are giving you much better than your current agency. Plus, I just explained very elaborately about 10 minutes back why it is an advantage to you to work with somebody like AJB because we are present in this country, unlike your current agent who is not present in this country. So what's going to happen to you, Ananda, when you land here in this country and you require some emergency assistance or you require emergency immigration advice or you require some emergency help at your institution, you require something else, a networking opportunity, or you require a local reference in New Zealand to get a home, to rent an apartment, or to get a job, and you require so much of help. Who is going to? I mean, so I find it a little disconcerting, actually, not so much for myself, or for my team, because for us, for every Ananda Krishnan who doesn't work with us, we will get 20 more people who will come with us and work with us. But for an Ananda Krishnan, this is his one chance in life to come to New Zealand and make the most out of it. And imagine having someone like us by your side, not just this individual. We are 5 or 6 people who are there for you and fighting for you throughout your constant battles in New Zealand and giving you that moral support and courage. So you guys will have to be a bit more prudent, Ananda. And if you don't want to, change and work with us, then obviously you shouldn't be coming and asking us answers to questions like, is this a good course to choose? So obviously you're not trusting your current agent, and that's the reason, you don't want to ask them the same question. But you're coming to us, you want our information, but you don't want to work with us. It doesn't match, my friend. It's gonna match, you gotta come to us and take our services, and we will give you every possible support and help that we can. All right. So Ananda, I know you're in touch with Aniket, and I would strongly, strongly urge you to work with us because I'm telling you, you might think, oh, Arun is one of these guys who sits in New Zealand and comes live on Facebook and asks everybody to work with them. But I'm telling you guys, once again, I look you in the eye and I tell you, this is more for you than for me. Like I told you, we're getting tons and tons of inquiries. So it's not about us. We are very cool. We are doing good business. We get, but if for you guys, this is your one chance, and to have a legal person supporting you after you come to New Zealand is going to be a very big step. All right, guys. So yeah, I think I would request everybody who's listening in to be sensible and work with somebody who knows what it is like in New Zealand. Okay, cool. Dimple Panja, hi, I'm Dimple Panja, and I've done my master's in MCA. I want to do PhD in New Zealand. What is process of it? Hey, Dimple, good query. PhD is people, researchers who want to do a PhD in, in New Zealand are very welcome at the moment because we also want to create a knowledge economy and we want to attract a lot of researchers to come into New Zealand. Because of that, the government made it very convenient for people to do a PhD in New Zealand. Number one, we offer it at domestic fees. unlike most other courses where you'll have to pay an international fees. Number two, you actually get to get full-time working rights. Number three, if you're married, your spouse will get full-time working rights. Number four, if you are married and you have kids, your kids will get domestic student rights, which means practically they'll have free education and health services and stuff like that. And number five, if your research proposal is really good, you might get fully funded because most of the universities have a good research fund. And if your topic is right up there and you're able to find a supervisor who's got the funds lying with him in his department, you might actually get completely a free PhD from New Zealand. So it's a good idea. If share your number, our team will get in touch with you and you can either discuss with them. And of course, you will get the AJV support after you come to New Zealand as well. But you also go to my YouTube channel, which is called Arun Jacob. And if you go search YouTube, Arun Jacob, New Zealand, the same face should come up there. And I have a video there which says the advantages of doing a PhD in New Zealand. Take a look at it, and I think you will take it from there. All right, cool. Cool, yo. Shazal Tarar, sir, I'm business graduate from Pakistan. I want to do masters in same course. Kindly guide. Hey, Shazal, we've had the pleasure of working with some Pakistani clients before, and it's always a pleasure to work with people from different nationalities and backgrounds. And we are very pleased about the whole fact that we're catering to so many different nationalities: China, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangladesh, India, UAE, Kenya, Uganda, Brazil, North America, USA, Singapore, Thailand. I can think of so many different countries from where our students have come. So it's always a pleasure to speak to people from different parts of the world. If you are a business graduate and you want to do a master's in the same course, good idea. You will get a 3 years post-study work visa. Just and from there you can kind of build your career, and we will of course be there to help you. You have not shared your number, Shazal. So if you can share your number, we will take it from there and connect with you and give you all the right guidance, put some options in front of you. Sometimes you may not be looking at a master's really. You might be more, suited for a postgraduate diploma, which also gives you a 3 years post-study work visa. So we will, kind of examine all those things. We are experts. As I told you, it's AJV is not just the single individual. We are about 35 people in this organization. We have some very, very senior people who work with the Immigration Department of New Zealand who are now part of our team. There are very senior people like myself and Mary and Nishanti and a lot of our other advisors. Between all of us, I think we would have more than 300 to 400 years of collective experience. So just connect with us, and that's how you guys can connect with us. And as I said, Shazul, because you're from Pakistan, just send us an email to info@ajvglobal.com with your contact number. We'll get in touch with you and we'll take it from there. All right, cool. King Choi, I don't know. Hey guys, you're posting me a lot of questions here, but you're not telling me if it is New Zealand, if it's our students, or you guys have to be a bit more clear. I'm talking to my team. All right, Sai, Jyoti, I want you guys to tell me. Say, for instance, King Choi, you've pasted his in a query, but I don't know whether I'm supposed to answer it or not. So please tell me to answer it if it's one of our clients. All right, cool. Okay, radio. Ahmad Mahfouz says TESOL certificate is okay instead of IELTS or PTE for applying any university in New Zealand. However, in Europe, many universities accept this one. TESOL is actually teaching English to students of other languages, Ahmad. So it's not it will not sit in lieu of IELTS or PTE. I would strongly recommend that you need to go for your IELTS or PTE, okay? And because you are in touch with that, you shared your number, our team will be in touch with you and we will take it up forward from there, all right? Cool. Wow, there are a lot of questions that are backed up. Okay, so, okay, again, all right. So Moni Venkat asks, hi, sir, I have background of BTech, biotechnology, and 8 years of experience in project management in e-publishing industry. What's the suggested master's course? Okay, that's a very interesting one, Moni, because on one hand you have a Bachelor of Technology and Biotechnology, which is an identified future growth area for New Zealand, so it's a good subject. But then you seem to have experience in an area which has got nothing to do with biotechnology because you've been involved with e-publishing industry, which is very far away from biotechnology. So that's a very interesting combination. And I must say, in my 15 years of being in this industry and being an advisor, I don't think I actually ever came across somebody who did a BTech biotechnology and then ended up in e-publishing industry. Moni, my suggestion, if you are able to get back into biotechnology, it will be good because we are also trying to attract talent in biotechnology into New Zealand. Especially in food technology, for instance, we have a pretty serious shortage of people in food technology. So we are trying to attract people in that particular area in that subject. So if you are able to kind of rewind yourself back to your biotechnology days and you're able to come and do, for instance, let's say a course in food technology or something related to that, I think it will be a good option. But if you have reached that point in your career because you've been away from biotechnology for 8 long years, and if you tell yourself saying, hey, look, I can't get back into biotechnology, it's all hazy, I can't remember anything at all now, and I'm now a more e-publishing kind of a person, then I think we will need to then find a course or a master's that suits your current profile rather than your old biotechnology profile. So the answer really has to come from you, Moni, because my recommendation to you, if you are able to get back into biotechnology, fantastic. I think that will really, really do well because we have a lot of our students who are doing food science and food technology and those kinds of courses and, graduating and going on to being very successful, picking up jobs and getting into residency and stuff. But if you say, no, I have moved beyond biotechnology, I simply cannot go back. My mind has completely, shut out biotechnology and I'm more into e-publishing, then we will find something suitable for you in that line, and we will, put some options in front of you, Moni. But the answer really has to come from you. All right. And hey, look, thanks so much for choosing to work with AJV. Really a pleasure to work with all you beautiful, wonderful, talented young people, and we will stand by you and help you to do well in New Zealand. All right. Thanks, Moni. Okay. Amal Mohan Kare says part-time jobs plenty? Question marks. Yeah, there are enough part-time jobs. Not a problem. Rahul Ganesh says, "Hi AJV, I'm Rahul here from Chennai. I'd like to take up a student visa and come to New Zealand along with my family." Hey Rahul, we would be delighted to work with you and ensure that you and your family are able to reach here. For your family to come here, there'll be 2 or 3 different options. You can either get your wife on a visitor visa, but if she's a working professional and you would want her to come on a work visa, then it's a good idea for you to consult with us because for her to be able to come on a work visa, you will have to do a particular level of course. So we'll put those options in front of you. And you have kids, then and if they are of school going age, it also is something we need to take into consideration. Thanks for sharing your number, Rahul, and reaching out to us. We would love to work with you. And when my team gets in touch with you, please kindly speak to them and discuss all these matters. And if it's something that is that needs to be bumped up and discussed with me or with some of our other senior managers in the organization, that's the way it works. So I promise you, you will get wholesome advice and complete guidance and services, not only in India, but also once you guys come and land here in New Zealand. We are always a call away. All right, cool. John Gero. Hi AJV, this is John Gero from India. I have completed MBA and holding 2 years relevant experience. Now I'm planning to do postgraduate diploma in management on New Zealand under Toi of my Institute of Technology. Kindly guide me whether it is a good choice. Then let me know the chances of getting the job once course is completed. Hey John, I think it looks like you have a bit of experience and you're also a master's already, and you are now planning to come and do a PG diploma in management in New Zealand, which will give you 3 years post-study work visa. So that's good. So overall, it looks quite fine. Toi Ohomoi is a New Zealand government owned and operated institution, so no problem about the credibility or the stability of that institution. My last question is, you have not mentioned if you are working with AJV, because especially in the management area, I think it's very important that you get good solid guidance about what kind of jobs you need to get into after you complete your course and what salary level and all those kinds of things. So I hope you're coming to New Zealand through AJB. If you're not coming to New Zealand through AJB, you might struggle a little bit. So which is why I would ask you to get in touch with our team when they speak to you, and take advantage of our presence here, our networking here, our ability to give references to you and help you get into a job and stuff. All right, cool. All right, John. Okay, Tamil Mani, not Nathan. Okay, hi sir, I am Tamil Mani, doing third year BSc Bioinformatics and wishing to do my masters in New Zealand and get a PR. What's the procedure? Hey Tamil Mani, good course and good background, because information technology is in our long-term skill shortage area at the moment. So we are trying very hard to attract talent like that into New Zealand. So you come into New Zealand and you can do either a master's or a postgraduate diploma, which will then give you a 3 years post-study work visa. And that 3 years post-study work visa, because IT opportunities are quite well, at the moment in New Zealand, and that's why it's a skill shortage area. And of course, with the help of AJV, we will also help you to network and connect with some of our old students and clients who are already working in the IT industry. Get yourself a relevant job, get up to a salary of 52,000 New Zealand dollars or above, and that'll set you up to apply for a resident visa. And for that as well, we guys are there to continuously give you immigration advice and make sure you reach your end goal. All right. So please talk to my team, Tamil Money, when they get in touch with you. All right, Neha. Okay, Neha Jarno says, hi, sir. I'm Neha, an AJB student being wonderfully advised by Jagrati. Thank you, Neha. That's awesome feedback. Appreciate that. I want to know about the scope of journalism, media jobs in New Zealand. Very good question. It's not on the long-term shortage list, so could it be a hindrance at the time of filing PR? Also, if I do a one-year research-based master's, would it affect my job chances in any way as compared to a practical-based course? Hey, Neha, the fact of the matter, and this is something again I keep repeating in all my live broadcasts and interactions with all you wonderful people, is that, hey, look, not every job is going to be in the long-term skill shortage list. For instance, my job, which is, I'm a licensed immigration advisor, is not on the skill shortage list, but hey, look, here I am sitting and working and running a business and, and being able to earn a living for myself. So not every subject will be in the skill shortage list now, and that should not restrict you. The fact of the matter is that we have opportunities in every field in New Zealand. I mean, including something as crazy as astronomy. I'm sure we will have opportunities in New Zealand, or deep sea diving. I'm sure there will be opportunities in New Zealand. So do not get fixated by that skill shortage list thing. In fact, I made a video of this and put it up on my channel. Go to YouTube and search for Arun Jacob and search for skill shortage list course. And I talk pretty elaborately about why it's not always necessary for you to always be choosing a course that's in the skill shortage list. Are journalists required in New Zealand? Absolutely. And communication journalism is something that is growing in New Zealand as well. In fact, I hope to start a channel in New Zealand. So come over and maybe we'll utilize your skills while you're studying. In fact, that's what I did with one of our students who is doing media right now. He's doing film and television. So the guy is so good. We hired him to do some of our videos, our testimonials and stuff like that. And hopefully after it gets done with the course, we'll be able to. So the opportunities are definitely there. In fact, I can think of a handful of our students who have done courses in media and stuff, and they're all doing well. So don't worry too much about it, and don't get fixated with that long-term skill shortage list course. And the fact of the matter is that there is a lot of vernacular press as well that is developing. There are Indian radio stations. There are all kinds of things that are happening in New Zealand. So there is a very good possibility that you will actually find some opportunity somewhere. And yeah, Neha, I think you will do well here. So, and it's all actually quite refreshing to be able to advise somebody who is not the falling into those typical blocks like IT and business and so on and so forth. It's good to talk to somebody who's got a journalism background. Last point I want to make before I go away with your question is that New Zealand, besides having the skill shortage list, also has got something called identified future growth areas, where the government is pumping in a lot of money to grow these particular industries, and journalism and media is one of them as well. So it is also a growth area, but it is just not listed in the skill shortage area. So you don't have to worry too much. All right, Nia, Thank you so much for choosing us. Really appreciate it. And I hope to meet you here in New Zealand. I have a massive interest in media and journalism myself. So look forward to having a coffee and having some discussions with you. All right, cool. Okay, all right. Vinayak says, "Hey, what are the job prospects after graduate diploma in operations management from Wintech?" And it is an inquiry from Geography. Vinayak, first and foremost, if you're planning to come for an operations management course in New Zealand, I hope you have been advised by my team that you will need to take up an operations management kind of a course only if you have adequate experience before. Operations management and project management is not for people with no experience, and that's something that I'm very clear about, because for you to be a good operational manager you need to have had prior experience. I mean, for instance, I now at this stage in my life, I am, I think, a very good business manager, but I could not have been a good business manager at 20, let's say 25 or 26, because excuse me, I simply did not have the experience to be a good business manager, because business encompasses a lot of things. And so I don't think I could have been a very good business manager at 25 or 26. But today, with some experience behind me, business experience, I think I should be able to be a better business. So same, likewise for you. Sorry, guys. Like I told you, I have a bit of a cold, so oh well, you can tell that winter is setting in New Zealand and people are beginning to get colds. Excuse me. So yeah, that's my advice to you, Vinayak. So I'd say be careful with the course choice, and ensure you're getting into it only if you have experience. If you don't have experience and you come and do this course, then I think, yeah, you should be able to find a relevant job. But if you do not have experience and you're going to get into something as high up as operations management and stuff, I think you will struggle. So be very clear about your choice. Now is the time to choose another course, which will probably be a bit more easier for you to look at. All right, cool. Cool. Keeping moving on. Excuse me. Mm. Khalid Khan says, "Hi, this is Khalid. I have around 12 years and 1 year experience in New Zealand in information technology." Sorry, guys. Hey, look, I'm just gonna block this. Oops. I had to do a little blanking out the camera. Okay. Khalid Khan says, "Hey, look, I have 12 years and 1 year experience in New Zealand in information technology, and I've completed master's degree in computer applications. Please suggest how I can get a job in how I can get New Zealand permanent residency." Okay. Khalid, again, this is something I keep repeating quite often, and got to be in New Zealand, find a job relevant to your background and to your qualification, and that's how you get your ability to apply for a residency. And after getting your residency, the subsequent step would be to get your permanent residency. So that's pretty much it. I can't get to elaborate into it right now, but I would request you to go and watch some of my videos and my channel, and that should explain it here. All right, cool. Shahji has asked me a question, but no number there, so I'm gonna skip that. Hey team, if I'm skipping any questions from one of our students or clients, please paste them so that I can, kind of ensure that I'm not missing them. Okay. Vijay Burley says, "Hey, could you please suggest me a good and affordable college for pursuing master's or postgraduate in information technology out of Auckland?" Okay. Vijay, tons of options, Vijay. Um, I'd say come to Hamilton, the city where I live, and we have this beautiful institution called Wintech, which is Waikato Institute of Technology. We also have in Hamilton the Waikato University or University of Waikato. Outside Auckland, you could go to Napier, which has got Eastern Institute of Technology, fantastic institution. You could go to Wellington and do study at either Victoria University or at Wellington Institute of Technology. So, or you can go up to Christchurch or even up to Dunedin and and study at the University of Otago. Or if you're one of those guys who wants to go all the way down south to the south of New Zealand, there's also an institution called Southern Institute of Technology, which is right down at the bottom in a city called Invercargill, which is like our southernmost, big city kind of thing. So plenty of options, Vijay. I do like your thinking, though. I like the fact that you're thinking about doing something outside Auckland because I think you're kind of charting it quite nicely. I might actually recommend Wellington quite strongly to you or Christchurch because they also have good, well-developed IT opportunities. So I would strongly recommend that you look at those two as opportunities in case you're looking at something outside Auckland. So yeah, and I like your thinking because if you do actually finish a course here and you're outside Auckland and if you get if you do get a job, you get 30 points more towards your residency. So yeah, good thinking, Matt. Yeah, well done. Cool. I seem to have run out of questions. Is that right, guys? I'm just flicking across to my group to see if somebody has left any question there. Khalid Khan. Okay, Khalid, you said please answer my query. Yeah, do I need to study to get permanent residency in New Zealand? At the moment, that's the way it works, Khalid, because what has happened is last year they changed the rules around a little bit. Earlier, you could be outside New Zealand and you actually could apply for a direct skill migrant category visa, which is the resident visa. But last year they changed the rules where they said you have to tick one of the two essential requirements. Number one being that you need to have an offer of job in New Zealand or be employed in skilled employment in a skilled job in New Zealand. That's condition one, or condition two, you should have studied in New Zealand for at least 2 years and gotten yourself a qualification of a master's or a PhD. So one of these two was an absolute prerequisite for you to be able to apply for a resident visa, which is kind of a precursor to the permanent residency, sort of thing. So, which is why I think the most, plausible pathway today has become the study pathway, because the government is being very smart. They're inviting people to come and study in New Zealand. So we earn money through the international fees that students bring into the country, which is great for us as an economy. I think we are now the fourth or fifth largest industry in New Zealand, the international education. So, which is great for us as a country, and we are, of course, developing our international education sector, which is great. But then, what happens is a lot of these students, especially coming for courses in IT, for instance, which seems to be a background, which is in our long-term skill shortage area. After you finish your course, and if you're going to do a postgraduate level or a master's level kind of a course, you will get a 3 years post-study work visa. And by virtue of the fact that it is the skill shortage area, you could get out there and you'll have a valid work visa for 3 years and go and find employment in New Zealand. And the moment you do that, and if you get $52,000 or above kind of a salary range, then you could apply for your residency. And in a couple of years after that residency, you will reach your PR or your permanent residency. So the study and settle pathway has become very, very viable, guys. And that is something that we have been promoting quite ardently and passionately, because it is beneficial for us here in New Zealand as well. Because in the first instance, we are getting good revenue from our international students. And then in the second instance, a lot of this, if not everybody, a big chunk of these international students also go on to address our skill shortages here in the country, which is great for us. So, it's like almost, a dual advantage for us here in New Zealand. So I think the study plus settle has become a very viable pathway, not only for single people, excuse me, especially if you're married, the policy is now such that if you're married and you're coming at the right level, of course, your spouse can actually accompany on a full-time work visa. And in our excuse me, in our experience with our own clients, we have noticed that a lot of our clients whose spouse came for a course and then the other spouse came on a work visa, they have been finding jobs based on their own merit. Even before the student completes the course, they're applying for residency and getting their residency. So I think it's working beautifully as a process, not just for all of you guys and girls who would like to move to New Zealand, but I think it's working really well for New Zealand as well, because for us as a country here in New Zealand, like I told you, we have a shortage of people, and yeah, it's great that we have this dual pathway of getting you guys and girls to come and work with us and address our skill shortage areas. All right, cool. I'm going to take one last question. My colleague Navya has pasted something. She says, Jitin Prasad, who is a student looking at the January, February, March intake of next year. He says he's currently working in UAE and is yet to answer, a call from our case officer called Anne. He already has an offer for a graduate diploma in business from EIT. Hey, Jitin, if you're watching this live broadcast, or if you happen to watch this later after I shut it down and it becomes a video and sits in our different channels, please, excuse me, please get in touch with Anne D'Souza, our case officer. She is trying to get hold of you. And like I said, we are here to help you guys. And for whatever reasons your plans have changed, and if for you it is no longer something that you're planning to do to come to New Zealand, or your plans have changed, so just let us know, so that we don't expend our time and energy in trying to get in touch with you. So I think those basic courtesies would help all of us to have a more productive time together. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. And where is my bell? I think I dropped it last time, and well, that's what I do when I'm done with the end of the session. Okay, so sorry about all the throat clearances today, but I am having a bit of a cold, and I'm actually glad I didn't cough my lungs out in front of you on live TV, on live broadcast. But no, as always, a great pleasure to be sitting here and talking to all of you about how we can create opportunities for yourself and your family in New Zealand. We require a lot of good young students to come and bolster our international education sector, but we also require a lot of skilled workers to come and bolster our workforce. So warm welcome to New Zealand. Haere mai, which is welcome in the Maori language. And we are here at AGV Services to help all of you. That's how we can get in touch with us. I'm going to make sure it's framed properly. So you guys can get in touch with us through any of those means. Email us or call us. And we will gladly work with you, talk to you, and help you to come to New Zealand and be your friends forever. All right, cool. Thanks, guys, as always, for watching my live session. Thank you, team. You have been wonderful as always, despite my little technical glitches. So till the next time, Kakiteyano, which is see you later, and Pomarie, which is good night. Bye-bye.